Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Thursday. Can you all hear me?
Yes, Judge. Yes.
Today is Thursday, April the 18th. My name is Judge Esparza. We have some writ hearings scheduled for this afternoon. The defendants are present in the courtroom. We do not have a court reporter. If you are requesting a court reporter, your case will be reset for a later date. Not hearing any objections, we will proceed as such. Getting answer.
I called twice, but I don't know if Omar's gonna try calling back.
Okay. The first case we're going to call is C1181-24-A, State of Texas versus Cassandra Kriska. Ms. Kriska is present in the courtroom. She is English speaking. We were here a couple of weeks ago on this case. It was reset. Mr. Lindemuth, you were looking for some documentation. You ready to proceed today, sir?
Judge, I am, but I would ask if the court doesn't mind if we could call this one last, given the subject matter that we'll discuss does pertain to her health.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you, Judge.
Next case we're going to call is C1712-24-A, State of Texas versus Armando. What is that your last? It should be Segovia, right? Yes, sir. Armando Segovia. You speak English, correct, sir? Yes, sir. He is English speaking. Mr. Nitz, this is your motion, sir. You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon. Your Honor, Mr. Segovia has been detained for the past 9 days on 2 counts of 1, stalking, and 2nd, obstruction or retaliation. He has aggregate bond of $30,000 or $15,000 for each count. He was born in Idaho. He's 36 years of age, attended Bowie High School in Harlingen, but did not complete his high school education. He's married, been married for the past 4 years, has 2 children. He's unemployed due to the fact that he's disabled. He receives a Social Security disability benefits. The nature of his disability is mental health issues. He suffers from schizophrenia, paranoia, anxiety, psychosis, and insomnia. He's presently under treatment with Dr. Matos and is taking the prescribed medications. Regarding the underlying facts, they're not entirely clear to me, Judge, but it appears to involve a family matter. And I spoke with his wife. Her name is Misty Alonso. She confirmed the marriage, the fact that they have 2 children, ages 3 and 1 year of age, and they live here in Edinburgh. She indicates that at the time of the incident, her husband had been off his medications due to difficulty in getting the prescription information to the pharmacy. She also indicates that she helps monitor the medication intake and to ensure that he gets his medications on a timely basis. Your Honor, he does have a fairly extensive criminal history dating back to 2014, includes burglary of a habitation, burglary of a building, burglary of a vehicle, a number of burglaries of the vehicle. Up until 21, none of his offenses involved, an assaultive or violent offenses. So it appears in talking to his wife, that is something, that kind of manifested itself in the past few years. He does have, a couple of assaults on family members in 21 and 22. Given the circumstances, Your Honor, we're requesting a $1,000 cash surety bond on each of the 2 charges, a total of $2,000.
Okay. Mr. Benavides?
Good afternoon, Judge. I'm Alex Benavides for the state of Texas. The position we're taking, Judge, is that we believe that the current bonds of $15,000 cash assurity for each charge is sufficient. We believe that due to the nature of the offense, the defendant presents an ongoing threat or danger to the community. And just so Your Honor knows, a little summary of the facts. On the date of the offense, which was February 16th of this year, McAllen PD was called out to the victim's residence, where she reported that her nephew on that evening showed up at the house in an aggressive state and accused her of talking about his mother. The details of what he was accusing her of are not very clear, but what is clear is that he then began yelling at her and threatening her, saying that he was going to stab her. He then proceeded to go into his vehicle and retrieve a crowbar, and then ran towards the victim, who, from what I understand, was inside the house, but still felt threatened. He ran towards the victim and raised the crowbar at her, saying, "I'm going to effing kill you." He then got into his car and left, but the stalking charge comes into effect because of what follows. So he leaves, but then later on that evening returns a second time and again begins yelling at her and telling her that he's going to kill her and watch her die, and that he was also going to kill her husband, which I'm maybe assuming is his uncle, but I'm not sure about that. But then that's not it, Judge. He then leaves again and returns a third time late that evening or early morning hours of the following day, and threatens to kill her again, and then tells her that if she calls the police, that she would die. Hence, we have the obstruction and retaliation charge. So given the nature of the offense, we do believe that he's a danger to the community. More specifically, we have concerns that he could be a danger to the victims in this case, Judge. And like Mr. Nitch said, there is some extensive criminal history. He is a repeater. That burglary habitation charge resulted in a probation sentence, which was then later revoked in 2016, and he was sentenced to 2 years TDC. And he also has a prior trip to state jail for an enhanced burglary of a vehicle. So he will be prosecuted as a repeater, which will obviously raise a third-degree felony charge to a second-degree range of punishment if there is a conviction. And so for those reasons, Judge, we're opposed to any bond reduction.
All right. Yeah, I did read the complaint earlier. Speak English, correct, sir? Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? How old are you? State, give me your name. What city do you currently live in, sir?
Edinburgh.
You live with?
My wife, my kids, daughter.
This alleged victim, Isabel Sandoval, is she related to you?
She's my aunt.
She what?
She's my aunt.
Does she live near you?
No, sir. She's in McAllen.
Okay. There is a protective order that was issued by the magistrate who arraigned you, that you are not to have any contact with her for 61 days or nor go within 200 yards of her residence. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
So if you do make bond and you show up over there, you're going to be facing another charge in addition to these charges you're facing now. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
That protective order will expire on June the 9th. When you release, I'm giving you notice now, the magistrate gave you notice. When you release, if you make bond, they'll give you a copy of that. So there's no excuse. Don't go over there. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Don't communicate with her in any fashion. Don't text messages. Don't call her family to talk to her or anything like that. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
I'm also going to order random UAs, no drugs, no alcohol while you're out on bond, sir. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Probation will contact you to go in and get drug tested. If you don't show up, you could possibly end up back in jail. If you show up and you're positive for drugs or alcohol, you're going to end up back in jail.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You said you're disabled?
Yes, sir.
Are you currently on probation or parole right now?
No, sir. I haven't got cut, but
I'll reduce the bonds to each charge to $5,000 cash surety each one. So it'll be 5,000 times 2, total of $10,000 cash surety. if you make bond, you've got those conditions. You understand that? I would suggest you not answer any questions unless your attorney advises you to go ahead and do so. Okay. Anything else, Mr. Ditch?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Good luck to you, sir. Have a seat.
Thank you.
This case we're gonna call is C-1736-24-E, State of Texas versus, how do you pronounce your, Yarazzi? 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 Colunga? She, no hablas inglés, ¿verdad? She is Spanish speaking. Mrs. Perez?
Good afternoon,
this
Your
is a
Honor. I
motion-
apologize for my tardiness.
No, that's fine. Just go slowly, so they can do the interpretation.
Yes, Your Honor.
You may,
Uh,
you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, we filed this motion to reduce bond on behalf of Ms. Colunga. She has no criminal history, Your Honor. This is an accusation of her using a debit card that belonged to an employer. She was a provider working for them, Your Honor. I believe the transaction was about $200. She offered to pay that money back. I don't know whether that was received. She has no criminal history, Your Honor. She is a U.S. citizen. She has 3 children under the ages of 5. I believe they're 4, 2, and 1. And the father of the children is not a U.S. citizen, so not able to be here to help her. She's not financially able to meet the burden of the bond, Your Honor. And again, is able to stay in the United States legally and present herself, and has even offered the restitution in the case.
Okay, State?
Judge, the state is not opposed to the court setting a PR bond.
Okay. You have contact information for her, Ms. Pettis?
I do, Your Honor. I don't have it in front of me to put on the record, but I've spoken with both her and family members.
Okay, I just want to make sure because she is going to be out on a PR bond. There's no bondsman if she doesn't make a court date to be looking for her. So I'm going to rely on you to make sure you have the contact information for you. You have an address,
Yes, sir.
phone number and so forth? Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
You said she is a USC?
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? State your name?
Alex Elizabeth Colunga.
You can put your hand down. Hold on. Where were you born? How long have you lived in Hidalgo County? Do you have family here in Hidalgo County?
Sí, tengo tíos por parte de papá y por parte de mi mamá.
Who's on the father and mother side?
Okay. We'll go ahead and grant a bond, $2,500 PR bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just a bond to get you out of jail. You're still gonna have to show up at a later date to the courthouse to take care of this matter. Do you understand that?
Yes, you understand.
It's important that you get out, and you will get out sometime today, that you stay in contact with your attorney. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
All right, good luck to you. Thank you, Ms. Perez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. Mr. Lindenmuth, I'm gonna go ahead and call your case because she's the only other female here, so they can take the females back. David,
Yes, sir. Not a problem.
we're gonna call C-1181-24-A, State of Texas versus Cassandra Kriska. Ms. Kriska is present in the courtroom. She is English speaking. I'm familiar with her history. I'm gonna look up some information. I know last time we were here, there were some issues regarding mental health issues or treatment by Tropical. Anything else that you want to add? Or
Yes, Judge, you gave me the opportunity to get this reset to try to explore some of the mental health issues and diagnosis. It's been a little bit of a difficult process. Ms. Kriska did sign a HIPAA waiver for me. I submitted one to Tropical at the jail and the Tropical in Edinburgh off the highway. And the records are, there's over 1,400 pages and they come at significant expense. So we don't have the records, but I did speak to her case manager, who did confirm that Ms. Kriska was being treated at Tropical, that she is indeed has schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, PTSD, and a borderline personality disorders, which do affect her. So I think the relevance importance is to a detention hearing, Judge, is I am aware that the accusations against her are serious, but I do believe that they are more a reflection of her diagnosis than any malicious normal behavior of her own. I think that will likely be the defense we have to explore when this gets indicted. But for purposes of receiving a bond, Judge, this bond is, I think, at $1.15 million. And although these are serious allegations, and she's aware of it, I'm aware of it, I do think that is just prohibitively high for somebody with Ms. Kriska's background.
What are you asking?
Judge, I would just ask for a significantly reduced bond. Quite honest, Judge, even if she were to receive anything other than a PR bond, her family is not of means. They can't afford to get her out. I know a PR bond is not allowable when there are violent offenses. I do know that there are some treatment paths available to her if she were to get PR bonds or close to PR bonds. And speaking to Maria, I believe De La Rosa, her case manager, indicated that we could get her out of the valley if she agreed to do inpatient treatment for her conditions. And I think that if we were to allow her out and have her treated that way, it would be the best way for her to rehabilitate herself for her mental health issues, her addiction issues, and to help me prepare a defense against in this case. So I'm asking for the short version, Judge, is something close to PR.
Are these private treatment facilities, or are they part of Texas Tropical?
It would be referred by the two. I don't know the specific answer. I don't know, but as Texas Tropical would be making the referral, Judge. And so I am assuming it would be facilities that they normally operate with. They just want to get her out of the valley because she's been treated at several in the valley. And they think that they're not as effective with her as they should be.
If we could release her directly to them, and I don't know if that's possible or not, I guess we'd have to find out who they are, where they're at, and
I have
see
no
if
problem.
that's even possible.
Judge, I have no problem doing the legwork and trying to track that down, see if she has any, the case manager has any specifically that will come to mind, and make sure that Ms. Kriska would, I'm assuming she would be, but I'll verify that she'll be amenable to the inpatient treatment. So I'll do the legwork, Judge, and if they haven't indicted the cases soon, I'll ask the court to review the bond issue again. If not, I'll ask the court that the case falls in for a bond reduction to see if we can't get her treated that way.
Alex?
Judge, I'm not sure when the first hearing was had, but on April the 3rd, there was a revocation filed in County Court number 8. So there was a pending motion to revoke, just for the court's awareness. So that issue is going to hold her up as well. And I understand Mr. Lindemew's concerns. However, you know, from our perspective, we have to balance that with concerns for the safety of the community. And I know the judge, Your Honor, is already aware of the facts, so I'm not going to get into that. But the victim in this case is very afraid for her safety and that of her daughters. She has her 5th surgery already scheduled to do repairs to her arm and the arteries that were damaged as a result of this attack. So she was essentially in a coma for 5 days, Judge, before she awoke in the hospital.
And I know that I looked at her history. I know that she was back in 2017 or 2018, she was part of the mental health program provided by Judge Mario Ramirez's court. I don't know if it was successful completion or not.
I asked the state if they would be willing to allow that court, but my understanding, Judge, from speaking to, I believe it was Annalise or somebody else at the DA's office, Gretchen, that they don't offer for these types of cases.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. Not the violent type.
Correct.
I'll reduce it, Mr. Lindemuth. I mean, I'm aware that your family may not be able to make the bond no matter what I reduce it to unless it's a PR bond. The court will retain jurisdiction for at least 30 days. If you can find out that information at the treatment facility, if she's willing to go, and if it's something that we can release her to directly from county to them for treatment, I mean, that's something that I would consider also.
Thank you, Judge.
We'll look at, for right now, on the ag rob, I'll reduce that to 100K. The ag assault, reduce it to 100K. The tampering, 25K. And the arson, 25K.
Thank you, Judge.
More than cut it in half, but and I understand that it's more than her means, but we have 30 days. If you can find out some information and we can maybe reset it, or not reset it, but you want to have another hearing, just advise the court.
Well, I will, Judge. Thank you for giving me that option, and we're going to jump on it. Thank you.
All right.
And that's all I have. Maybe
Good luck to you, Ms. Yes, sir. Good luck to you, Ms. Krista.
Thank you, Judge.
Emails are done. They can be excused. The next case we're going to call is C1616-24-C, State of Texas versus Roberto Sotulo.
Yes, sir. So, yes,
You speak English, correct?
yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sotulo is present. Mr. Alanis, this is your
I'm present,
motion.
Your Honor.
You may proceed, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. We're present today on a writ of habeas corpus that I filed on behalf of Mr. Sotuyo. He was involved as a co-defendant in a case, Your Honor, where the co-defendant received a $75,000 bond, and Mr. Sotuyo received a $250,000 bond. We're asking for the court to consider reducing the bond to either $10,000 or $25,000, Your Honor, whichever you think is appropriate. He's a United States citizen, Your Honor. He lives at 510 West Chaparral in San Juan, Texas. He's been a lifelong Texas resident. He's single. He does have adult children. He lives with his mother and another brother. He's disabled by the military, Your Honor. He's a disabled veteran. He's not working at this time. And we're asking for the court to consider lowering the bond, Your Honor.
Ask for 10,000, is that what you said?
Yes, Your Honor.
Dave, Alex?
And Judge, I know in the last case you mentioned that you read the complaint. So did you do that in all these cases? I don't want to waste the court's time.
Yeah, yes, I did. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I read them all.
Then just to go straight into our position, Judge, we're opposed to bond reduction in this case. We believe the defendant poses a flight risk and is not likely to appear in court for future court proceedings. And we base that on the fact that the defendant has 2 pending NISIs on 2 misdemeanors. One was a criminal trespass and interference with emergency phone call. 2 cases that have been pending since 2021. And also, Judge, in 2023, of August 2023, he picked up an evading arrest with a motor vehicle. He bonded out on that case and then picked up this offense recently in March of this year. The evading arrest actually currently has an order of commitment where the judge out of the 370th issued a no bond on that one.
Yeah, I saw that. Now, you're aware of that, Mr. Alanis, that there was, I think it was Monday, he had a hearing in the 370th on that evading, and there is an order of commitment that he be held without bond on that charge. I believe there's a May setting, May 6th or something like that. if I'm
Yes,
not
Your Honor.
mistaken.
That's correct, Your Honor. That's just around the corner. And at that hearing, we're going to take up, I had filed a motion for a bond reduction already, Your Honor. So we'll be taking it up at that hearing.
And you said the co-defendant was given a
Received a
$75,000 bond?
Yes, sir. That was all over the news. And he's the one that caused actual fatality in this case.
All right.
Read your right answer. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Swear.
State your name, please.
My name is Roberto Vito Sotuyo.
How old are you, Mr. Sotuyo?
42,
Where were you born?
Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas,
How long have you lived in Hidalgo County?
Hidalgo. I graduated here in a 15, 20 years.
What city do you currently live in?
Top one.
You have children here?
I do.
And family, brothers, sisters, parents?
Yes,
Are you a veteran?
I am.
What branch of service?
Army.
How long were you in service?
I did 4 years in medical corps.
Alex, was that a co-defendant given a $75,000 bond? You
Judge,
see
that-
that?
I can look at that. I need the information. I don't have access. Well, I haven't found it yet, but if someone gives me the information, I'll look it up right now.
I don't know if it has it on the,
And I'll just note, Judge, that the only difference here is the issues that I pointed out are the concerns of him being a flight risk. So. But yes, I'd be happy to look up that information.
I don't have, I don't see it in the complaint either.
Right, Judge, and that's all I've seen. Mr. Alanis, do you happen to have the name of the co-defendant?
No, I do not have it handy here with me since I didn't prepare for him. But,
I'll look it up. I know it was in the media and stuff.
yes, sir. Thank you.
I'm not sure if he's still in the jail.
Yeah, he was actually in the hospital, Your Honor. So he had a broken leg, so he's not leaving the jail.
If you do make bond, I'm gonna order that there be random UAs. Probation, actually, if you make bond on this case, you still won't get out until you go before Judge Gonzalez in the 370th and see if he grants you a bond over there. You have a hearing, I think, next week, if I'm not mistaken, or in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks. I believe it's sometime in May, the first week in May, and see if he'll grant you a bond on that evading charge. Right now, you're being held on that case with no bond.
I had already bonded out on. I don't
And
understand.
because you picked up new charges and you're in jail, I believe was there a verification filed? Is that what it was, Mr. Alanis?
Judge, I didn't see one file, but it's possible.
Well, the judge has the authority to hold you without bond if you picked up new charges while you're out on a current felony bond. And that's probably what he did. He wants your attorney's requesting a hearing to see if he'll grant you a bond, reinstate your bond, but I don't believe it's set until sometime early May. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look up the information on that other individual, and then I'll make a decision.
Judge,
And then
I found his name at least in a news article. Let me see what I can find. If you still want me to look
Okay.
at
Sure, yeah.
Sancho. Carlos Manuel Garcia Sancho. So he was given a bond at the municipal level in San Juan of 75,000 cash surety for intoxication manslaughter.
Okay.
And he's held without bond on 2 pending felony DWIs out of 370th. So the judge increased those bonds. He was out on bond when this offense was committed for those 2 felony DWIs, and Judge Gonzalez revoked those bonds and set no bonds on both of them
As well, okay.
as well.
All right. I'm gonna review this a little further, Mr. Alanis.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
have a decision by tomorrow afternoon. I'll submit an order of releasing commitment by tomorrow afternoon.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your consideration and thank you for looking into it, Judge. We're just asking for parity in terms of the bond amounts.
And-
Thank you so much, Your
I guess Yeah, we got to look at all factors, but I'll certainly take a better look at it, based on some other information we just received today. All
Yes,
right.
sir. Thank you.
Good luck to you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Alanis.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Judge.
Yes. Alex, that's all we have this afternoon. We don't have any schedule for tomorrow afternoon. And I believe Annalise will be back on Monday, correct?
Yes, Judge, I know, you'd rather have me here, but yeah, she'll be back next week.
I was calling asking for you. They said, oh, he's real busy, so, okay.
No, Judge, you got my number. I'm always available if you need anything. So,
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.
you too, Judge. Thank you. Bye-bye.